Hello friends, welcome to our channel Angrezi Sahitya and this comprehensive exploration of William Blake's extraordinary life. Known as a visionary poet, painter, and printmaker, Blake's contributions to English literature and art are unparalleled. In this video, we will delve into the details of his life from his early years and personal relationships to his most famous works and themes that shaped his art. We'll also explore how his spiritual beliefs and political views influenced his creations. Let's embark on this journey through the life of William Blake. William Blake is considered a forerunner of the Romantic Age, a literary movement that emerged in the late 18th century. The Romantics emphasized emotion, nature, individualism, and the imagination. Blake's focus on personal vision, spiritual experiences, and the rejection of industrialization aligns closely with these ideals. Alongside poets like William Wordsworth, S.T. Coleridge, and John Keats, Blake helped to shape the Romantic movement, which sought to break away from the strictures of enlightenment, rationalism, and explore the depths of human emotions and creativity. Now, let's discuss the early life of William Blake. William Blake was born on November 28, 1757, in Soho, London. He was the third of seven children, though only five survived infancy. His father, James Blake, was a hosier, selling stockings, gloves, and other clothing items. Blake's mother, Catherine, played a significant role in nurturing his artistic talents. From a young age, Blake exhibits a vivid imagination and a talent for drawing. Unlike many children of his time, Blake was not sent to school, but was educated at home by his mother. This early homeschooling allowed him to develop a strong sense of individuality and creativity, laying the foundation for his later works. At the age of 14, Blake began an apprenticeship with James Bassier, a respected engraver. This apprenticeship lasted 7 years and provided Blake with a solid foundation in the art of engraving, a skill that would be central to his later work. During this time, Blake was often sent to Westminster Abbey to make sketches of the Gothic architecture and tombs. This experience profoundly influenced his artistic style, embedding in him a deep appreciation for medieval art and Christian themes. The intricate details and spiritual significance of the Gothic style became a recurring element in his work. Now let's discuss education and early works of William Blake. Following his apprenticeship, Blake briefly attended the Royal Academy of Arts, where he encountered the works of famous artists like Michelangelo and Raphael. However, Blake's stay at the Academy was short lived, as he often clashed with the Academy's president Sir Joshua Reynolds over artistic ideals. Blake opposed Reynolds' emphasis on classical works and grand style, favoring a more personal and imaginative approach. In 1783, he published Poetical Sketches, a collection of poems that showcased his early experimentation with themes of innocence, love, and spirituality. This collection, though not widely recognized at the time, marked the beginning of Blake's literary career. In 1782, Blake married Catherine Boucher, a woman from a modest background who played a crucial role in his life. Catherine was illiterate at the time of their marriage, but Blake taught her to read and write, and she eventually became his most devoted supporter and collaborator. Catherine assisted Blake in printing, coloring his works, and their partnership was marked by mutual respect and affection. Despite their financial struggles, the couple shared a deep bond, and Catherine's support allowed Blake to pursue his artistic vision without compromise. Now, let's discuss the major works and themes of William Blake. William Blake's major works are a testament to his visionary imagination and deep philosophical inquiries. His poetry and art are inseparable, each enhancing the meaning of the other. Let's explore his most significant works and the recurring themes that make them timeless. Songs of Innocence, which is published in 1789. This collection of poems is infused with a sense of childlike wonder and purity. It portrays the world through the eyes of innocence, where joy, simplicity, and goodness prevail. The poems are often set in idyllic pastoral scenes featuring children, lambs, and angels. One of the standout poems, The Lamb, uses the imagery of a lamb to symbolize Jesus Christ and explore themes of innocence and divine creation. The poem's simple, repetitive structure mirrors the questioning nature of a child, reflecting Blake's belief in the purity of childhood. Songs of Experience, which is published in 1794. Blake published Song of Experience as a counterpart to Song of Innocence, offering a more mature and realistic perspective on life. These poems confront the harsh truths of the world, such as oppression, corruption, and the loss of innocence. The Tiger, one of Blake's most famous poems, stands in stark contrast to The Lamb. It questions the nature of the creator who could fashion such a fearsome creature as the tiger, symbolizing the darker, more destructive forces of the world. Through this, Blake explores the coexistence of good and evil, innocence and experience, and the complexities of creation. Blake's exploration of dualities is central to his work. He believed that to understand the human condition, one must acknowledge and reconcile opposing forces innocence and experience, good and evil, joy and sorrow. This duality is not just philosophical but deeply spiritual, reflecting Blake's view of a universe where contraries are necessary for progression and understanding. The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, which is published in 1790. In this prophetic work, Blake presents a series of aphorisms, dialogues, and illustrations that challenge traditional religion and moral views. The work argues for the integration of opposites, such as heaven and hell, suggesting that true enlightenment comes from the union of contraries. Blake's famous phrase, without contraries is no progression, encapsulates this idea, emphasizing the necessity of both positive and negative forces in achieving spiritual growth. Blake's prophetic books, such as the Book of Origin, the Book of Ahania, and the Book of Laws, delves into his complex mythology. These works are dense and symbolic, filled with characters representing various aspects of human experience, spiritual forces, and societal structures. Through these texts, Blake critiques the restrictions of organized religion and societal norms, advocating for individual freedom and spiritual awakening. Blake's innovation in illuminated printing allowed him to combine text and illustration in a seamless, integrated format. He engraved his poems and accompanying illustration on copper plates, which were then printed and hand colored. This method not only enhanced the visual impact of his work, but also allowed him to retain complete creative control. The intricate design and vibrant colors of his illuminated books bring his visionary worlds to life, adding layers of meaning to his poetry. Blake's work consistently explored themes of spirituality, imagination, social justice, and the individual's struggle against oppression. His disdain for the Industrial Revolution's dehumanizing effects and his advocacy for a return to a more natural and spiritual way of life are evident in poems like London and The Chimney Sweeper. These themes resonate deeply with modern audience, making Blake's work as relevant today as it was in his time. Now, let's discuss the visionary and spiritual side of William Blake. Blake's life was marked by his spiritual visions, which began in his childhood. He claimed to have seen angels, gods, and other spiritual beings. Throughout his life, these visions greatly influenced his work, leading him to develop a unique form of mysticism. Blake believed that the material world was intertwined with the spiritual realm, that true understanding came from seeing beyond the physical. His works often depict a struggle between the forces of light and darkness, and he saw his art as a means of expressing the divine truths he perceived. His spiritual beliefs were deeply personal and often conflicted with the established religious doctrines of his time. Now, let's discuss the political and social views of William Blake. Blake lived during a period of significant social and political upheaval, including the American Revolution, the French Revolution, and the early stages of the Industrial Revolution. He was a staunch advocate for individual freedom, and was deeply critical of the social injustices of his time, such as the exploitation of children, the rigid class system, and the oppressive nature of industrial religion. His works often contained radical messages advocating for social change and spiritual liberation. Blake's poem London, for example, paints a grim picture of the city, highlighting the suffering caused by poverty, corruption, and lack of freedom. Now, let's discuss the later years and challenges of William Blake. Despite his prolific output and undeniable talent, Blake struggled to gain financial success and recognition during his lifetime. He often relied on the patronage of a small group of loyal supporters, but his unconventional style and radical ideas did not appeal to the broader public. In his later years, Blake continued to create, producing some of his most ambitious works, such as Jerusalem and the Book of Eugene. However, financial difficulties and declining health took their toll. He spent his final years in relative obscurity, though he remained committed to his artistic vision until the end. William Blake passed away on August 12, 1827, but his influence has only grown over time. Today, he is recognized as one of the most important figures in English literature and art. His works have inspired generations of writers, artists, and musicians, from the Romantic poets to contemporary creators. Blake's ability to merge poetry, art, and spirituality into a cohesive and visionary body of work ensures that his legacy will endure for generations to come. His life reminds us of the power of imagination and the importance of staying true to one's unique vision, even in the face of adversity. Thank you for joining us on this detailed journey through the life of William Blake. His story is one of creativity, resilience, and an unyielding belief in the power of art and imagination. Despite the challenges he faced, Blake's work continued to inspire and resonate with audiences around the world. If you found this exploration insightful, please like, share, and subscribe the channel for more deep dives into the lives of literary and artistic legends. Until next time, keep exploring the world of art and literature and stay inspired.